to talk to you today about how to properly do Chattaranga, also known as high to low plank. Chattaranga is something that takes practice. Many times, the first time a student does Chattaranga, it's, the elbows go out or the hips dip down. I know that for me, when I first did my first Chattaranga, I thought, how am I possibly going to be able to do a lot of these, because it was so difficult. And then what I found was I was actually doing it improperly. So over the years, I've really paid attention of how I'm placing my hands, where my elbows are, engaging the core, engaging the legs, and then it really helped me with my Chatarangas. So the first thing I wanted to do was just talk about some common things that I see students do, and they feel like Chaturanga is so hard. And then when we correct those little tiny areas that they might not be having a proper placement of the hands or elbows, it makes a big difference. The first thing that I notice sometimes is placement of the hands. So oftentimes students will have the hands way far out, and then the elbows are pointing outward. So if I were going to try to do a Chaturanga or a push-up, it's going down like this, which can be very difficult. The other thing that I noticed is that the hands are placed too close together. So then again, they're going outward with the elbows, and it's almost impossible to do that. And lastly, even if their hands are placed correctly and the elbows are pointing backwards, a lot of times, until you get the upper body strength, I see a lot of dipping like this. And that's not wrong. There's no right or wrong with yoga, but it is important to protect the shoulders and other parts of the body when you're doing these shapes. So doing a Chaturanga takes time and practice, as I said. So the first thing that you might want to do when you're doing a Chaturanga is come into tabletop, walk the hands out a little bit, stay on the knees. Don't worry about coming up into high plank. Stay on the knees. Walk them back a little bit. And then think about where the elbows are. Are they pointing outward? If they are, just draw them in and then straighten the arms. And then all you're going to want to do is shift forward. And now keep the shoulders, instead of keeping the shoulders up here, draw the shoulders back. Widen the fingers so you have a nice placement. You can tuck the toes or you can flatten the toes. And then all you want to do is keep that belly engaged, keep the belly pulled up into the spine, and then look a little bit forward and go ahead and drop down all the way to the belly. And then you would come into your cobra or your up dog. So once you start getting that kind of perfected in a sense, although you don't have to be perfect, you can kind of practice up and down with the Chaturanga push-ups, pushing evenly into all the fingers. When you're ready, you can maybe start lifting one leg up. Okay. And then when you're ready, after you've practiced and you've strengthened the arms and you've gotten the technique down, then you can go ahead into high plank. And when you're in high plank, you really want to engage the quadricep muscles and the inner thighs and pull the belly up. And then all you want to do is shift forward a little bit. Again, the elbows are pointing backwards. Come down. And then you can push up into up dog. And then push back into child's pose or into down dog. So I just wanted to point out, it's okay to go onto your knees every time until you've built up the upper body strength and the technique, and then you move on. There's no jumping into it and being, knowing how to do it right away. Sometimes we need to take baby steps and really work towards coming into a full high low plank. I hope this was helpful. And stay tuned, because I'll be bringing in some more tips, every week to help you with your yoga practice.